was very evident what Morgan and McCullum were doing. They wanted to bowl the spinners out early so that the heavy middle order doesn't have the spinners, especially the likes of Pollard can't accelerate because there's no spinners. They're left towards the end. Something that Mumbai batsmen did that came to my mind, which was they decided to play out Chakravarti and Narayan. Just run a ball, don't give them a wicket, don't do that. Has that backfired for Mumbai?
Well, a little bit. There's a tale of two halves, isn't it? And Joy was absolutely spot on. I think 75 for 5 in that second lot of 10 overs is such a good performance to bring it back. At 80 for 1, you are thinking 180 is a must almost. So the way that they brought it back through that middle phase, look at that 5.55 from 7 through to 15. That was the key to the game. Just 3 boundaries, 3 fours only in that middle phase of the game. So it was brilliant bowling. Yes, there was some spin involved, but also some pace as well. That was when Prasidh Krishna and Lockie Ferguson and Russell were bowling some reasonably tight overs. So I like the way they went about it, actually. Maybe it's a blueprint for playing against Mumbai. Get your spinners up front. Rohit Sharma, Quinton de Kock like pace on the ball. We saw when Andre Russell came to the attack, I think it was the 10th over or the 11th over, and Quinton de Kock pace on, went bang, bang, 4-4 straight away, didn't he? So Russell had to change things around a little bit. And to me, that was the key for Kolkata. They got that spin out of the way early, although they only got 1 wicket. It was all about providing that pace and a little bit of aggression through the middle and later part when the big bangers, the big boppers were coming to the crease. So a score now that you would think, I'd put Kolkata probably just in front. If they can get away to a decent start, I'll put them just in front.
Yeah, and Simon, just one thing, because Joy and me discussed it in the comm box as well. And, here we always discuss kind of strategy more than result, right? So when you were looking at the first 4 overs of spin, or the first 3 overs of spin, Rohit and Quinny did manage to get some, and you kept thinking you've got a 150 bowler with you, right? You've got Loki there with you. You want to go slow up front, give him, but get him in. Get him in the first over. If there's anything in the wicket, he can get it. He's the guy who's going to get it for you. So at that point in time, we were discussing whether Kolkata had played into Mumbai's hands that way. Your thoughts on that when you saw it?
Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't have one of either Prasidh or even Russell or Lockie Ferguson up front, just in maybe the second or third over perhaps. But obviously they had a plan that was to take the pace off, not to give Quinton de Kock any pace on the ball at all, make him use those reverse sweeps and come down the wicket. And for the most part, you'd say that Mumbai played it quite well. But what they didn't do is they didn't capitalise in that middle phase, and that's where Kolkata were able to pull things back. So I always like to see your quickest bowler with at least 1 over while the ball is relatively new and is going to come onto the bat quite nicely, just to see whether he can ruffle some feathers. They opted not to. You'd have to say in the end, it worked for Kolkata. At the halfway stage at 80 for 1, you'd think, gee, Mumbai are in a great spot. And an old Mumbai, a Mumbai of last year or 2 years ago, might have just cracked on and got 180, but brilliantly pulled back.